Okay.
But in some cases, you then have the as the operator, you can't have the power. As an example, um, when I think on one, I think it was when the old Minds chat, when Minds was still using Element Matrix itself for its chat facilities. I had a lot of spam on one of the rooms that I administrate. So what I turned around and stated, because I couldn't force people to accept terms of services or leave. So what I stated, I just put up an announcement. These are the rules. If you disagree with it,
Right.
leave.
Now, see,
Because I had no other ability to, apart from banning individual users.
now, like I was talking to V about the community guidelines thing earlier. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't disagree with community guidelines. There is an advantage to it. But when it comes to what we were talking about, Mark, when it comes to YouTube, they have abused their community guidelines. Okay, now, if I'm saying with the terms of services and when it comes to regulators and jurisdictions, layer it, okay? But set yourself up with guidelines, the community guidelines saying we will not tolerate this. This is what the regulations are, but these are our community guidelines and we will not tolerate this. And if you abuse these freaking guidelines, you will be gone, okay? Now that I agree with, but don't use it to abuse your platform so that you can do like YouTube is doing, where they're freaking using it for political motivations.
Yeah, but then you get into the situation where you've got US users screaming, "It's my First Amendment rights."
No, there's no such thing. I mean, somebody owns those platforms. Like, you don't have free speech on a platform that's owned and operated by yeah.
Yeah, that's the argument. Yeah.
Yeah, it's and people fall for that shit like they do with like these airports. Like I heard this argument here in the United States where they said we need to get them Christmas trees out of the airports because we don't believe in Santa Claus and Christmas. First of all, that goes according to the owner of the property. It has nothing to do with anybody coming in and out of that airport. If the owner of that property says he wants Christmas trees on his property, he can put it on there. He has every right to do it.
It's even worse in this country because the Equalities Act 2010 and the Communication Act of 2004, I think. I've seen cases of let's say Christmas trees as an example. You can't have a Christmas tree here. It might offend a specific religion.
Right. Exactly. You know,
and call it Christmas, got to call it Winterfell or festival time or something because it may offend somebody.
And let's not look at that person who owns the property, or I mean, and don't get me wrong, maybe it is a freaking corporation, okay, with a CEO and a board of whatever, and they're public, okay. You know, maybe they can get away with that kind of shit. You know what I mean? I don't really know the whole legalities behind that. If the government can actually regulate that shit because they're a freaking publicly a public trading corporation. I don't know.
Well, it depends on country, depends on the specific law.
But if that property is owned by an individual or a private freaking company, then there should be none of that shit going on. Period. It should be up to the people who own that, and that's the way it goes. Bringing it back to the internet with like YouTube and all of these. You know, it should be there that they should be able to get away with it, and it goes back on to the users when it comes to that too. It's like, if you are sick of freaking being treated like that, then leave. You know, but I also understand I put a shitload of stuff on YouTube, so for me to just leave, you know, I mean, I have tons of memories when it comes to my videos. I put a lot of time and effort into these channels, you know what I mean? So you're kind of stuck there. For a person who just started out on there, you know, it's no big deal. It's okay. If you've only put like maybe 1 or 2 years of work into it, then that's one thing. But like freaking, I remember 10 years ago, dude, just starting out and how crappy my videos are. They are on there, dude. You know, those are my memories. You know, and I'll never be able to freaking have those again if that freaking channel gets taken out.
And there's the old argument, it's up to the individual user to choose what they view, what they consume. If they don't want to consume something, then don't watch it, don't view it.
Yeah.
Really.
Well,
if they don't want to consume material from a particular platform, don't use that platform.
I've gotten to the point now where I've actually had to try to practice being nicer to the viewers. You know what I mean? Because like when it comes to
all I'm going to say is that everybody's got their own individual agency.
Well, I mean, I've said meaner things than what you've said, is all I'm saying. You know what I mean? It's like, to be honest with you, I don't give a rat's ass what the freaking viewer thinks. You know what I mean? If they want to come on and like criticize my videos.
That's what I mean. If they want to consume this material, then they can.
Right.
If they don't want to consume the material, then that's their choice.
Well, I mean, you're so much better at saying that. You've heard me say this stuff before. I get out of hand, you know what I mean? Like, so I need to kind of.
Nobody's pointing a shotgun or a gun to the head and saying you must watch this.
Right, but we do appreciate your
Indeed.
Your compliance. Indeed. Thank you for your compliance.
Cooperation, please.
So I am going to step away real quick. I have to go make sure some stuff is done. You guys talk, and we will. I mean, I think my music might still be point now where I.
Yeah, you guys just stick with music on. What would you wait?
Let me make sure real quick.
Stick on. What would you wait?
Oh, it's my background music. Let me make. That's cool. I didn't know my background music was playing.
As long as it's not too loud, not driving it that loud.
Okay, so just as long as it isn't drowning it out. I went ahead and muted it that way because I've had complaints about that. And I know people on live stream don't like just as long as it isn't drowning, you know.
Depends on.
So let me.
Oh yeah. But whilst you just taking a break, just some music on, just 10 minutes, 5 minutes.
No, that wasn't the break music right there, but so do you want to step away too?
Yeah.
Okay.
How long we gonna go on?
Well, let me get everything.
What are we back with?
Hold on. We're supposed to be doing some Minds Roundtable stuff, talking about Minds real quick, and then after that we'll move on to another show and stuff. And Tan, I didn't get no confirmation if he's coming in or what's going on. So
usually he doesn't. He's either coming back from work or doing something with the kids. These kids at the present moment, so usually not free for at least another hour.
Yeah. What does Tan do again?
He's a software developer for some company. I'm not sure what his actual specific field is, but yeah, it's full stack developer. yeah, I was just saying, Tan has just messaged us and saying he'll be joining us soon. Cool.
I like that bullhorn berry.
Don't you said you wanted to do one of the Untethered episodes, upcoming Untethered episodes in this year?
Wait, do what now? On social? Dude, have you ever checked out any of my shows in my archive? Dude, this is my forte. This is my specialty. Okay.
Yeah, I want to sort of focus on sort of political nudge units. I get consumer sort of pleasure engineering as well. Well, depends on the specific food stuff you're talking about. Indeed, we're dangling bait here. Talking about bait and things, and this goes back to one of our previous real-time shows. I was just watching a video that Stephen Barrett, a British barrister, or ex-barrister, I think now, has just released today, and he was talking about the creation of the UEC and EU, and he was just going through things like the Lisbon Treaty of Rome, and the Maastricht, even though he got Lisbon and Maastricht mixed up there. But yeah, we did an entire, was 2-3 episodes on that subject. He was just really talking about, in brief, the concept of the creation of the EEC, or he called it the EU. He's far too young to understand. It was technically it was a different organisation, but yeah, it was just going through the concept of the EEC stroke EU.